I'm going to start off by asking everyone watching to think of a moment in which they've consciously delayed a task for later, which could have been done in the moment. This could be something simple, such as letting the dishes pile up in the sink, or maybe something more complex, like turning in a paper or a report the night before it's due. In any sense, try to pin a moment like this down. This type of behavior is what I'm going to be referring to as procrastination. Now, sadly, due to the limitations of technology, I won't be able to see you all raising your hands or nodding your heads. But if any of you consider yourselves to be procrastination-free, I'd say that you're either lying, confused, or straight up inhuman. Because procrastination is not only natural, it is also being shown to be incredibly common. A study by a sociologist named Darius Faroo found that 88% of the United States working force procrastinated every day. And the people in question were just couch potatoes and freeloaders either. They all reported having a stable income, a household, and performed properly during work. So right off the bat, we can see just how common procrastination really is. However, I'm willing to bet that that number is a lot higher among students. First of all, because I am one, and I procrastinate a ton. And second of all, because procrastination among students is so common that reliable trends and patterns have actually been observed. One of these such trends and patterns has been nicknamed student syndrome. What student syndrome entails is that when you're given a set amount of time to complete a task, most, if not all of the work will be completed in the last portion of the time given. This picture here should illustrate a lot better what I mean by that. And student syndrome is also incredibly common, to the point where I'm also willing to bet that a lot of you could probably fit your own workflow into the student syndrome graph. So, if procrastination is so common, to the point where reliable trends such as student syndrome can be observed, why is it still so heavily antagonized? Why do our bosses, our parents, and our teachers tell us that it's this unnatural flaw we must strive to eliminate? The short answer is actually quite simple. Our schools, our jobs, and society as a whole is designed to benefit those who are most efficient. Our bosses tell us that maybe if we put in a few extra hours in at work, we might get a raise. And our teachers tell us that study time translates directly into test scores. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that all this mental strain can lead to a decline in mental health. That's why over the past 15 years, the World Health Organization has reported a significant increase in symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression worldwide. It's because of this constant mental strain for efficiency. So, just to quickly recap where we are at right now. Now we know what procrastination is, how common it is, and why it's so heavily antagonized. Now comes the part where you're all going to have to bear with me, because I'm going to try to explain not only how procrastination is natural, but how it can be good for you, which to me still sounds really crazy, so I bet it sounds really, really, really crazy to all of you. However, if I compare procrastination to meditation, the benefits can appear a lot clearer. And I know it sounds like I got the meditation thing out of nowhere, and I did, but segues are hard, so again, bear with me. Modern meditation such as the one given by Headspace, which for those of you who don't know is this massive program with over 60 million users, aims to give your mind some downtime. Headspace even coined the term that everyone needs time to do nothing. Now compare this do nothing time to our standard procrastination activity we thought about at the beginning. Whether you were watching Netflix, playing video games, or reading a book, the lack of urgency in the task meant that productively speaking, you were doing nothing. What I'm trying to get at here is that you don't need to be sitting cross-legged, humming mantras in order to give your mind some downtime. Simply leaning back, literally and figuratively, can help your mind relax. It's also in these moments in which our subconscious is allowed to truly work. Ideas and connections which you could spend for hours trying to find consciously come to you out of apparent thin air. A good example of what I mean by this is the standard shower thought. A shower thought is this intuitive flash one gets when their conscious mind is zoned out. Normally occurs in the shower. It could be something simple, such as finally remembering where you left your keys or knowing what you're going to get their friend for their birthday. Another good example of the power of this intuitive flash is the probably made up story of Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was just sitting under an apple tree, chilling, when out of nowhere, one of the most revolutionary ideas in the history of mankind came to him. What I'm trying to get at with all of this is that it's in these intuitive flashes in which modern meditation and procrastination can truly help. A study by Harvard's professional development team found that students who procrastinated every day had ideas that were rated as 28% more creative. And I don't know how they measured that, but it's Harvard, so we're just gonna roll with it. Princeton University also conducted an experiment in which they tried to find the correlation between physical exercise and mental efficiency. They found that students who exercised 30 minutes a day had reduced symptoms of stress and anxiety in the following 24 hours. Both studies show how this mental downtime can truly help with mental efficiency. Now, I do have to be fair to procrastination, because procrastination can grow into a really big problem which can affect your life in a really negative way. Therefore, I think it's fair to point out the sides of procrastination which are okay, and the sides which you should try to stay away from. The key concept here is excess. If you're vegetating in front of a screen for 5 hours every afternoon, you're not going to get any mental downtime or any intuitive flashes. You're just going to waste an entire afternoon. Things such as exercising, reading a book, or maybe even taking a shower have a lot less of that slippery slope effect which other activities such as watching Netflix and scrolling through Instagram do. I'm not saying that you can't procrastinate by watching Netflix or scrolling through Instagram. Just be a bit more careful around these activities. It's not an exact science. Know yourself and know how to control it a bit. The second type of procrastination everyone should watch out for is the long-term type of procrastination. The tasks normally victim to this type of procrastination are normally long-term, low-priority tasks. Maybe you want to learn how to paint, or maybe you want to build a treehouse, or learn a new language. The point is, since we always have more urgent tasks at hand, we always push these off for later. At the end of the day, we'll always have more time for those, right? Wrong. That's how you end up with a midlife crisis. If you push off all your life goals for later, you're gonna end up trying to regain your lost time by buying sports cars, smoking weed, and embarrassing yourself. So don't. Manage your time and priorities, but sneak in a bit of 20 minutes every day to work on your passion project. It's very likely that this passion project is gonna fall under the good procrastination activities I mentioned earlier. So just to boil everything down to 3 basic points. 1. It's okay to procrastinate. Don't stress about it. Give your mind some downtime. However, 2. Watch out for excessive procrastination and try to stick to the good procrastination activities. And 3. Don't waste your life. Get around to that hypothetical idea you've been thinking about for so long. Work on your passion projects. I'm going to leave you all with a Chinese proverb my dad showed me. Zhuangzi was a Chinese painter with many skills. Amongst them, he was an expert draftsman. The king asked him to draw a crab. Zhuangzi replied that he needed 5 years, a country house, and 12 servants. At the end of the 5 years, the painting was still not begun. Zhuangzi replied that he needed another 5 years. The king granted them. At the end of these 10 years, Zhuangzi took up his brush, and in an instant, with a single stroke, he drew a crab. The most perfect crab ever seen. Thank you.